There's so much to talk about for the business community here. I think a lot of people maybe know about the struggle that Black-owned businesses have faced historically in the South, but what is specific to Memphis?
We suffered from just being first-generational entrepreneurs and having, that delay that comes with it. There's a aggregation of knowledge that comes with being in a space and having second, third generational type of businesses. In Memphis, we don't see that. Oftentimes it's first generation, and so you have to experience all the lessons and bumps and bruises that cause you to be stagnant.
I don't know if it's uniquely here to Memphis, but in the early 1900s, we really had a robust Black business community. You had entities like Tri-State Bank, Universal Life Insurance Company, up until the assassination of Dr. King. For an excessive period of time, it was like, particularly the Black business community here, was severely stagnated. In my opinion, I don't think there was really a robust or concerted effort to reinvigorate that community until around 2018, which was the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King.
Is that when both of you sort of decided to really put a lot of effort into your own individual businesses here in the city?
I've been an entrepreneur now for over 20 years. It evolved into BLP Film Studios being formed.
Appetite now is that if you're going to do business in Memphis, there has to be minority and particularly Black participation. Otherwise, you're going to be faced with a lot of challenges in getting a project through.
Memphis happens to be the largest majority minority suburban community in the entire country. The city of Memphis proper is about 65 to 70% Black. Starting with Mayor Harrington and continuing on and following administrations through Mayor Warden and now Mayor Strickland, there has been more intentionality around including Black entrepreneurs in the contracting process.
I'm hoping that many of our dollars that have traditionally been to support worker or employee training can be shifted to entrepreneurial investments so that an individual can get that business acumen skill to know how to run a business, to know how to create a budget. Those skills will help with the business, and even if they fail, they'll help when they go back into the job market as an employee. And so for Memphis, because we have so many African American people here, as those individuals start to take their talents private in the form of entrepreneurship, we're gonna see a boom and more companies created right here in Memphis.
BLP Studios, it's projected to be the second biggest Black-owned film studio in the country, second to Tyler Perry. A lot of that is going to come down to funding, right? Can you talk about if you're seeing that funding, if you're seeing that support?
BLP Film Studios, once we're fully operational, we will be second in terms of size and scope to Tyler Perry Studios. We've begun some early discussions with Mr. Perry and his team around opportunities to train. One of the critical things I think that Tyler Perry brings to bear is the speed and efficiency that he produces content. He has a system where he can go in and he can produce on time, high quality content again and again and again.
A byproduct of what Jason and his company is doing with Tyler Perry Studios is synergy. Is going to be opportunity. In Atlanta, you'll see t-shirts that say, Atlanta, we're closed. Like they have so many people, right? Well, Memphis, we're open. And we feel strongly that as those relationships start to develop, we'll have opportunities to showcase our city and some of the talent that's in Atlanta looking for a less congested place. We'll look at Memphis as a viable alternative.
Is that capital, though, coming in, Ernest? Are you seeing the money come to Memphis yet in the way that you would hope?
We don't have enough of that VC type of funding. A lot of the dollars that come into Memphis, we have to be very efficient with the dollars, but also we don't have the luxury of making many mistakes because it's tight. Whereas places like San Francisco, Boston, they were created because there were tons of capital that poured in that allowed entrepreneurs the luxury of failing, the luxury of testing, revising, and perfecting their businesses. Whereas in Memphis, we have to get it right because we don't have that large capital influx.
It's a lot of pressure.
An incredible amount of pressure. And so it causes you to think out of the box, and it makes you really be more intentional, because this one shot that we get is gonna impact so many other people, and it'll create more downstream opportunities. But we have to get BLP Film Studios right out the gate, because it will impact us for years if we get this thing wrong. At full capacity, BLP Film Studios can accommodate 50 to 70 productions a year, and it will impact the local Memphis community to the tune of about $300 to $400 million a year. So when you bring in that kind of capital resources into the city, and about 60% of that money gets spent locally. So with the help of agencies like the Black Business Association, we have a list of Black-owned companies, from electrical to contractors, everything that it takes to support a studio film campus. Then we can ensure that we have Black vendors at the table, that they're qualified, that they can get insured and bonded, and it will help those companies grow.
I love this quote that you said, Ernest. If we get this right, Memphis is a different city, a competitive city.
Think back, we're in the National Civil Rights Museum, and when Jesse Jackson came here doing the 50th year commensurate, he made a powerful statement that said, the resurrection must take place where the crucifixion occurred. And so Memphis has a duty and a responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to the world, to be that model city. And I think this newfound entrepreneurial spirit that we're experiencing is a catalyst that is going to lead us toward being that model city.
Hey, thanks for watching Bloomberg Quicktake Now. Subscribe to our channel to see the biggest stories the moment they happen from around the world. And tune in to our 24/7 live stream for global news coverage, documentaries, interviews, deep dives, and shows on the stories that you care most about.